Fans, we have another special treat, another radio voice who shows his face on YouTube. Oh, he's got his glasses off and everything.
Look at that, and the gray hair. Doesn't it look good?
Yeah, everybody puts a face with the voice here. We're here with John Kincade of 680 The Fan. John, first thoughts on this Falcons team. You've been here in the mornings before you go on air in the afternoons.
My belief is that the foundation that Coach Smith talks about so often is really truly being laid right now for this franchise to have that 4 or 5 year window where every year they're competitive for an NFC Championship game. I don't know whether it's this year that I think they make that leap to get there to be amongst the truly elite, but I can tell you this, that offense, that may be the best offense that's put out on the field in the entire NFC.
Well, you and I were talking yesterday, and we don't want to take a knock at any of the other teams in Atlanta, of course, but you said perhaps this is the team in this town that's the best set up to do something good and really kind of has maybe all its pieces in order, all the horses in the barn. Still feel that way?
Well, there's no knock. I mean, that's no knock on the Braves, who probably are a year or two away with some of their young talent. And the Thrashers obviously have a long way to go, and the Hawks, they're in that middle of the pack era right now. The Atlanta Falcons are a team that I think is on the verge, and I really do believe that. I'm a huge believer in Thomas Dimitroff. I love Coach Smith's demeanor and leadership, and I like the coaching staff he's put together. A very interactive teaching coaching staff that still has high energy and demands accountability. I'm telling you, I've been around the Falcons for years. We've been up here at training camp with them for the better part of a decade, and I can tell you from watching things, I've never been more optimistic for Falcon fans that this is a year that's going to take them the next step. I'm not sure it takes them to 12 wins. I'm not sure it takes them to an NFC Championship game, but I think for the long run, you'll look back at 2009 and say, this was a year when a lot of the key parts of the puzzle got their feet wet.
That said, what are some question marks? What are some things that you see have to get addressed to keep this season from falling apart and to getting a back-to-back winning season?
Well, I'm not worried. I'll tell you, the only thing that I could see making this team, and I mean this, the only thing that I could see making this team an underachiever is a lack of depth. And I think the offensive line would be a key issue. And I really question the starting linebacker positions. I mean, I'm a huge Curtis Lofton fan. I think he's going to be fantastic. You got to love the Mike Peterson pickup. But I got to wonder, is Stephen Nicholas really ready to be a starting linebacker in the National Football League? When they play nickel, I feel a lot more comfortable with the athleticism and the speed I'm seeing out of the secondary. I'm loving what they've done there, but also I think whenever you're talking about young key parts of the secondary, is it going to be Deku? Is it going to be a William Moore pushing for a starting position? I think there's so many question marks, and I think teams that are truly competing for the Super Bowl in '09 are not teams that have that many, what-ifs on the defensive side of the ball. Once again, I don't think it means anything to their long-term development. I think this franchise is heading straight to the stars. I really believe it. I think they have the chance to be one of the handful of elite franchises for the better part of a decade.
You talk about depth. One place where depth may be a concern, you got bodies there, but just talk about amount of carries with Michael Turner. What are your feelings on maybe giving him some less carries? Is that crucial, or can you do the same thing with Michael Turner that you did last year and still have success?
I don't think you'll need to, because, and no offense to Ben Hartsock, who also does his job extremely well. If Ben Hartsock's not here last year, this team doesn't rush the football as well as it did. But I think that you've got to see Tony Gonzalez taking carries away. You've got to see him taking carries away from Michael Turner, and probably some balls thrown in the direction of Roddy White, who Matt Ryan and Roddy White had the most prolific quarterback to receiver combination in the National Football League as far as attempts last year. I think those are the two guys who most likely will see their workload ease up a little bit as you try to get a guy like Tony Gonzalez in the offense. I'm telling you, I mean, I can't tell you anymore how excited I would be if I was a Falcon fan to see all the levels of this offense. The only question is your offensive linemen, your starting group, are they going to be healthy? And are they going to be together for 14 to 16 games? If they are, I think the sky's the limit for the Falcons offense.
Great stuff, John. The same stuff you and I were kind of talking about when we played golf a while back in Coach's Tournament. It just seems to get better and better. What do you have coming up on your show?
Well, today we have Coach Smith joining us this afternoon on 680 The Fan, so he'll join us, so we'll have a chance to catch up with him. And today we're talking about the rookies and what kind of an impact the rookies can make. And I was telling you earlier, I have a feeling that Falcon fans, I really believe that within the next 3-4 years you're going to see the Falcons in a Super Bowl. I really believe that. Even as a diehard Eagles fan, I'll tell you that. I believe that. And I think that when the Falcons get to that Super Bowl, you're going to look back at that 2008 draft the first one of Thomas Dimitrov, and that free agency season, and you're going to say that was where it all turned around. That draft has provided a huge buzz. So we're going to look at the youngsters and see if that 2009 draft in the long run has a chance to match up to the 2008 draft.
Well, make sure you have a good seat at the victory parade.
Can't wait. I'll look forward to it. Take care, man.